Hey guys, what's up? Happy Friday. Are you guys ready for the weekend? I am so freaking ready. We got a new cat, so I'm exhausted. We did. We adopted a new little furry friend. Her name is Kimbella, but we've been calling her Bella, just, faster. She's the cutest little thing. She's 4 years old. She was stuck at the little animal orphanage for 6 months. 6 months in a little tiny cube, and I couldn't take it anymore. Alok couldn't take it anymore. I looked at her face for an entire day, and I was trying to ignore it, and then the next day I looked and, I didn't see any comments under the post on Facebook saying, has she been claimed yet, or anything? Has she been adopted yet? And I was like, oh my gosh, so let me just, tag Alok. I was, almost putting feelers out just to be like, I did a little, sad emoji, and I went downstairs to see if he had saw the tag, and he was like, let's go get her. And I was like, oh my God. So we did go and get her eventually. We had to wait a few days because she had a little bit of a cold, have to start her on medicine. We took her to her first vet appointment, which went wonderfully. Like I said, she's got a little cold, so we're keeping her away from our other kitties at the moment. I can't believe I'm a mother of 4. And next week, if she's feeling better, we'll start the slow introduction process, kind of letting them exchange scents, not together, but when you rub your cat and you whatever. But I'm in no rush. Most importantly, I want everyone to be safe, sound, and happy, but she's doing great right now. She's living in our bedroom. I wanted to put her in here, but I have so many lights and stuff. I was just worried. She has nowhere to get the zoomies in here. It's cramped, okay? Okay, personal news aside, we have a lot to get into. The Princess of Pop has gotten married. Britney Spears is married. We're going to talk about that. The good, the bad, and the awful. Just absolutely awful. We're going to talk about that. I really need to get into this Khloe Tristan situation. I don't want to use the word excited because I hate this for Khloe. I guess I would actually say I'm anxious for next week's Kardashians episode. Oh my God, you guys. How many times does this have to happen to her? So really quick, I just wanted to talk about the whole royal Jubilee situation. As I'm sure you know, this week, the Queen had her platinum Jubilee, which was amazing. I heard there were corgi cakes. Adorable. There was a freaking hologram in a carriage of her, which really freaked me out. It's a carriage and there was a hologram of her in it. Holograms freak me out, just like robots. They're so scary. Long story short, Prince Louis, who I believe is only 4 years old, was so clearly bored and tortured at this Jubilee. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've seen so many comments saying that he is privileged, entitled, a brat. Who throws a tantrum at a Jubilee? The kid is 4 years old. He is 4 years old. And first of all, of course he's entitled. He's a child and he's royalty. Okay. Yeah. Privileged, entitled, whatever you want to say. Probably a brat too. But he is 4 years old. He's at this boring ass Jubilee. There's all these trumpets and stuff. He doesn't want to be here. They have to stand up there like freaking statues and just wave and smile. And you get tired. Maybe he had other plans that day. Maybe he was going to ride his bike. I didn't want to talk about this long, but I just want to say I think it's crazy, all the backlash that this little backlash. It's so funny saying backlash about a 4-year-old, but he's a child. He's literally in preschool. What do you want from him? That stuff looks exhausting as hell, and I love royal events, okay? I enjoyed seeing every clip of the Jubilee I could, but I'm a freak, and I'm obsessed with the crown and the royal story, so I watch all of them like a hawk. I really, really do. And I was curious to see what would happen with Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, which they did attend, and the Queen did meet Lilibet, her namesake, her grandchild. That is so exciting. I was disappointed to see, and obviously I know because they have stepped down from their royal duties, it is not appropriate, or it's just not, I don't know, it's against these made up rules, essentially. They can't be on the palace ledge waving to everyone because they've stepped down, they've lost their stuff, and they didn't take any photos with the royal family, which I wish they would have. I think that would be really interesting and kind of really cool and modern. Modernize the monarchy. If we're gonna have a monarchy, can we modernize it a bit? It's actually quite I'm looking at this at the standpoint of the Queen being mean, but possibly Meghan Markle and Harry wouldn't want photos in that situation. Maybe they wouldn't want that at all. So what the hell am I saying? I'm glad the Queen at least met Lilibet. I hope she loves her and adores her. Meghan looked amazing. Love her. Anyway, I've already spent way more time than I wanted to on the Royal Jubilee because it really doesn't matter. It's just something that I personally enjoy. Next, can we get into this Khloe Tristan situation? This is so interesting because it's already happened. You know what I mean? This is actually not new news, but we're seeing it happen on the Kardashians. So if you did not watch this week's episode, at the end of the episode, and I think next week is the finale. So if you guys remember, Tristan had to admit to cheating on Khloe after his 30th birthday because a woman was about to give birth to his supposed child and he wanted a paternity test. In order to get this, he had to make a declaration that yes, he does recall having sex with her in March and she was about to give birth. So this was, months forward, obviously. And in order to get this paternity test, he had to declare that he does remember having sex with her. And the worst part of it all is it happened after his 30th birthday and Khloe had thrown his 30th birthday party. So he left the birthday party and I don't know how many days went. Was it the night of? Was it, a day later? Who knows? He had sex with another girl and had another child. Anyway, so this is technically old news. My heart just breaks that we have to watch this on the show. And so this is what I really wanted to talk about. Obviously, they signed up for reality TV and they've always been very vulnerable with what they show. Of course, they're getting a bajillion dollars for it, but it's almost like, are they, and I don't want to get into any weird conspiracy things with what I say here because I'm not into that Illuminati shit. I don't believe it, blah, blah, blah. But in a theoretical sense, are they selling their souls for money? And do they need any more money? What are they doing with all that money? Anyway, buying up all of Los Angeles? I'd love to know where else their money goes that we don't know about. You know what I mean? I bet preserving their bodies. I don't know. I bet just some really rich people shit that you and I would never, maybe you understand, but I don't. I don't know that real rich people shit. I would love to know that shit. Anyway, in the episode this week, you just see Kim frantically calling a bunch of people, calling Kylie, Kylie's calling her. She's freaking out. She's I've just read this declaration. They're just finding out that Tristan cheated again. And Kim was the first to see this. Kim is always the first one to find out that Khloe's been cheated on again, which is so horrible to say multiple times. It's so hard. It's so bad that you say oh, Kim found out first again. And Khloe even said in an interview that her sisters are always the first ones to find out when something bad has happened to her, which is so awkward. It's so terrible. And then Khloe finds out with the rest of the world. That's what she says. And it's so, so sad. Does the show have to film moments like this? I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of grateful for it. I kind of want to see it. You know what I mean? I hate to be that person, but I really do want to see it. I just wonder if they ever sit back. No, they're probably so happy. But do they ever sit back with all their money in their nice house and just think what have I done? What have I done? Why am I putting this out into the world? I feel bad that obviously one day, kids grow up, kids learn what happened to their parents. I swear to this day, I'm finding out things about my parents that make me so sad and so shocked and so horrified. To where if I had video documentation of it, I would die inside. In fact, it's why I'll be honest, I kind of pulled back from showing so much of my personal life on social media because I want to be the ones to tell my kids certain things. And, years ago I was so open and I would do story times and I would share this, that, and the other. And then, you get older, we're trying to have kids and I just don't ever want them finding something that, I should have told them before they found out from the internet. I mean, by the time I have a child old enough on the internet, I hope I'm not on YouTube. Truly, I don't want to do this forever. But the Kardashians, their lives are archived forever. Every episode online. And I guess just, it's the deal they made with the devil. Which, again, don't take that literally because I don't believe that shit. I just feel bad. And I wonder, after all these years, after all the money, after all the grand trips, after all the beautiful homes, when they are in their late years, will they say that it was worth it? I actually think they might say it was. I really do. Fame is a hell of a drug, I can imagine, It has to be because they keep coming back. And, they are all consenting adults. They choose what goes on the show, what they don't. But I just wonder what makes them be yeah, show this? I don't know. I wonder where the lines are with their production company. I'm sure sometimes things happen where they're no, this can't be in the show. We don't want this to air. So where do they draw the line? And I guess maybe Khloe might like it being out there so people can see her side, her reaction, maybe feel a little more sympathy towards her because a lot of people don't. I see it in like every time something happens with Khloe and Tristan, you see the comment 1,000 times over. You lose them how you got them, or you lose them how you get them. You know what I mean? Insinuating that Tristan was in a relationship when he met Khloe. I'm so sick of that. I mean, we can't just forever blame women for men cheating. We just can't. Even if Khloe was at fault in the beginning, we can't forever just blame Khloe for Tristan being a cheater. You can say, I mean, you knew what he was when you met him. If she did know that he was in a relationship, which I'm sure she did, to be honest. But we can't just blame women for everything all the freaking time. Like, yes, she knows who he is, but I think as women, we always have hope. We always want to see the good. We always want to believe in our spouse, especially once you brought a beautiful child into the world with them. And, you know, you try so hard to be a good mother and to show them that you're, you know, everything that they could want. You know, Khloe's providing for her child. She's creating a beautiful, safe home. She has a fun family, tons of cousins. It's just like totally the family vibe you would want with a sprinkle of like elitist reality TV situation. I just wonder what the line is and what we don't see. And I'd have to imagine that there's not much we don't see. I would think maybe in their contracts it would say something like if it has to do with the children, they can have full say as parents, like, as to what is shown and what is not. But I feel bad for Khloe. I feel bad watching it. I feel bad being like, ooh, you know, ooh, I would hate all of the world watching my hardest moments in life. Anyway, I just had to talk about that. I don't want to say I can't wait for the next episode because I don't want to be excited for it. I would say I'm anxious for the next episode. I'm anxious to, oh, it's going to break my heart though. I feel bad for Khloe. Like, can't Khloe have anything? Listen, I know Lam Lam was terrible to Khloe. I know he made absolutely, I know he made unbelievable mistakes. And Khloe gave him chance after chance after chance. Khloe dedicated her life to him, to his career, to his sobriety, to his recovery, to everything. I love the first few seasons of Khloe and Lamar where she is just they're so in love. They were so in love. And, you know, he had his own demons that, you know, showed their heads many, many times. And oh, he was so close with, I'm sorry. I will reminisce about Khloe and Lamar for as long as I can. And people argue with me about this on Twitter all the time. I get it. He was terrible to her. She should never go back to him. She shouldn't. But in my own perfect world, Lam Lam would be perfect. He wouldn't be fighting those demons. He wouldn't cheat or go to brothels on Khloe. And he would stay sober. And they would live happily ever after. Because in my mind, in my heart, in my wishes, Lam Lam is her soul mate. And sometimes it takes years, decades, forever for someone to finally wake up and be your soulmate. If we truly only have one penguin, which I don't believe, I really don't believe in soulmates. If there were soulmates, I would want it to be Lamar for Khloe. I know he did horrible things, but if she was recovered and he was better and, you know, just, it was all going to be perfect. I just wish it would work out with Lam Lam. That's all I'm going to say. They loved each other. That was real. Sometimes our demons get in the way of relationships, but that was real love. I don't care how quickly they got married. I don't care how quickly they knew each other. You watch those first seasons. That was love. I miss Lam Lam so much. Anyway, we got to move on. Briefly, I want to talk about Kourtney. She did an interview recently where she was saying that she basically was really disappointed in how so much of her wedding on the show, so much of her engagement on the show had to do with how will Scott feel. I mean, and I totally agree. Watching this season, it's been like, and listen, I love Laura Disick. I really, really do. Again, another shitty man in these poor women's lives. I don't care how successful they are, how many kind of crappy things they do too. No one deserves all of this. No one deserves all these men being bad to them all the time. Kourtney was sad that so much of the show focused around how Scott feels about Kourtney's life. And it does make me sad for Kourtney. These are joyous, joyous moments, and it just does not have to be all about Scott. I hope next season there's less of a focus on Scott. I still want him on the show. I do. I think he's funny when he's not being super bummy. And he has his demons as well. He struggles too. I hope he can get the help he needs one day to just see how lucky and fortunate he is. Because there's a lot of us, a lot of people out there struggling way, way more. And I'm not saying his struggles aren't important, because they are. I know he lost his parents young, and it's almost like he has no family but the Kardashians, and then your baby mama's marrying someone else. It probably does feel like you're being pushed out a little bit, and that's a little hard, especially when they stop inviting you to family events. But, you know, you really didn't do much to show that you appreciated going to those family events for so many years when you were treating their sister and their daughter so low. And I remember older seasons when the family was still kind of too close with Scott for Kourtney's comfort. So I really believe that it was the family as a whole who kind of created this monster with Scott. They should have drawn a thin line with Scott years ago. Of course, he's going to be around. He's going to be at family events. He's the children's father. But I think they let the hairs cross a little too much, and I wonder how much of that was because of the show. He was great for the show. Honestly, there are a lot of times in the seasons where I feel like episodes heavily rely on Scott and Khloe. Scott and Khloe's funny antics and, you know, their good times. They were like best of friends. Scott had huge parts in this show. So it's just, again, it's this whole monster they have created with their lives. It's like, it's unbelievable. I could talk about this all day, clearly, and I won't. I'm really anxious for the episode. I feel bad for Kourtney. I feel bad for Scott. And I somewhat feel bad for Tristan, only because it's like, man, he's probably been going through therapy, trying to work out this shit with Khloe. He's trying to move on, and, you know, he still has another child that he has to care for and worry about her seeing all this on the TV one day too. And worry about, I think it's actually a boy, I'm sorry. He's going to have to worry about him seeing this when he grows up. It is messy. It is so messy. But can I tell you what I'm really excited for? I am really excited for these Kardashian kids to grow up. I'm excited to see what they do with their lives. I hope something amazing. I hope that they get out of reality TV. I hope they don't do what their parents did, because they deserve to just enjoy life like normal. And I would wonder if they'd be sick of cameras by the time they grew up. It's interesting, though. I'm really excited for the Kardashian kids to grow up. I hope I'm alive to see what they do with their lives, if they have any dramas or beefs, because I'll be tuning in. Even if I'm 80, I will be tuning into this family. I hate to say it, but I will. Finally, can we please get to the Royal American Jubilee, in my opinion? An actual royal wedding. The Princess of Pop got married yesterday. I will literally cry. I'm not even kidding. I gotta get my shit together. Britney Spears, as we all know, got married yesterday to her fiance, Sam, and it looked beautiful. How beautiful did her ceremony look? I hope it was everything she wanted, and I bet it was. And you know what I love about Britney, and I think what we all love about Britney? I bet it could have been just in the backyard with the barbecue and a couple of hay bales, and I think Britney would have loved it all the same. I don't think she personally needs all the flash and the glam, but I am so happy that she had it. I hope it was everything she wanted. I hope she hand-selected every flower that she wanted. And it said the ceremony only lasted about 10 minutes. Perfect. We've all been to weddings that are just a little too long. I do really love long weddings too, though. I do. I just love weddings. Last summer, I went to my friend's wedding, and it was a Jewish and Italian Catholic ceremony. So we had like two of everything. It was long, but it was really fun and really interesting, and I love to see that. But 10 minutes also sounds like superb. It was a really intimate guest list with only 100 people, with, of course, some absolute icons who are already the background of my phone. We have Donatella Versace, who designed Britney's dress, and Britney looked beautiful. It's so Britney, too, with the choker and everything. Paris Hilton, which love seeing them together. I just do. We have Madonna, and they gave a little smooch to kind of recreate that infamous smooch that they had. Iconic. I mean, I feel like I have like chills right now thinking about this whole situation. It's iconic. We had Selena Gomez, who was just stunning in this blue little jumpsuit. She looked, whoosh, I don't think I've ever seen her look more beautiful. And I don't mean that in a bad way. She looks beautiful always. But my gosh, there's something really happy about Selena right now. I wonder if it's because, I mean, she's always so successful. So I don't want to say that, but her brand's doing so successful. She's, you know, probably so happy for Britney attending this wedding, and just like, she looks on fire. She has an amazing show out, 2 amazing shows out, the cooking show and her murder mystery show. I think she's just like on top of life right now, and I love that for Miss Selena. She deserves it. And then we had freaking icon, Drew Barrymore, which I did not expect. I didn't know that they were good friends, and I think that's amazing. I mean, Drew is such a freaking icon. I was supposed to meet Drew Barrymore on the day I got married. Can you believe that? I really didn't want to miss it. I actually thought, like, what could I do? Like, no, I couldn't make it. It was only up in New York, so it wouldn't take me that long to get there and back, but I couldn't swing it. I wish I could have for her Flower Beauty launch, but you know, what can you do? They just danced the night away. It looked like they had so much fun. I was hoping Britney would post some of the photos that maybe she took herself with her phone. I hope that she posts those. Or if she wants to keep it intimate and private to herself, she has every right to do that, and I hope she does. But just feeling like we all know Britney, especially what we've gone through with her over the past year with the Free Britney, not even just the past year, past few years with the Free Britney movement. It feels like you want to be there. You want to be a part of her special day. And feeling like we know Britney, I think she'd want to share as much as she could too, because she's probably so happy and so proud. I hope she had the best time, and I hope her marriage is just everything she dreams of. I really do. Her parents, of course, were not in attendance. Neither was her sister. Her brother was set to attend, and there are photos up on TMZ that show that he was like heading to the ceremony, or he was dressed and ready for the ceremony, which it looked like his wife was wearing white. So I really hope that's not what they were going to wear at the ceremony. Anyway, they ended up being no-shows, so don't know what's going on with that. And her kids were not in attendance, which I hope Britney was okay with that as well. That's sad. I hate that for her. I hope she's okay. She looked to be happy as ever, though, so I think maybe she's okay with it. Maybe they'll celebrate privately. Maybe they were interested in the big party of it all or something. Who knows? The cameras, maybe they're anxious about the media. I mean, gosh, look what they've seen their mother go through. You know what I mean? Maybe big crowds, not that it was a big crowd, but just maybe these type of events that they know are going to be so heavily watched by paparazzi, maybe they get a little nervous attending things like that, which would be totally understandable. I hate to even talk about this scumbag because he doesn't deserve like, can she have nothing? She can't even have a wedding without people trying to ruin it and take it from her. This infuriates me so much, but her ex-husband, kind of, I guess he's an ex-husband, but I don't even consider him a part of her life because he's so vile. But as I'm sure you've seen, he was Instagram living, running through her house and wedding and like showing the insides of it, being absolutely terrible and really aggressive and like going up to people and being like, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Just like yelling at people. He was detained and arrested, and then it turns out he had a knife on him. I hate to even say this or think about it because I would hate to know what his intentions were with that knife. Why did he have a knife? You know what I mean? I can't believe it. And then there was a video of him during the Free Britney movement talking about how they had just like, that he had just talked to Britney and like it kind of made it seem like everything was cool with them. Was he just lying? And now, mind you, there's a huge chance he's mentally unwell, which is unfortunate. And so who knows what's going on with that? I don't want to be too mean because I don't know his situation or his mental state, but I think we're all a little protective over Britney right now, and it's really hard to just excuse something so horrible when he could have taken her life. I mean, he could have ruined her life that so much of it has already been taken from her, to then just, I don't even want to say the words. I don't want to bring that evil on, but where was security? How did he get through? And why wasn't he like just bodied even earlier? Maybe there's just a lot going on and people don't know. Should he be here? Should he not? But I hope everyone on her team, if it's a good team, finally, like cinch up security in general, because I fear that things like this will keep happening to Britney as she's a little more open and out in the world, because people are just a little, people are unpredictable and they're excited, and her safety is like top concern. Please protect Britney, and can people stop trying to take things from her? Please, please. I'm about to literally have a leave Britney alone moment. I'm sure we all are, aren't we? I mean, aren't you just sick of this? Enough of that, though. I don't want to dwell too much on it because I don't want her day to be tainted. And I hate that there's already been a distraction about her wedding because it was such a glorious day for her. Annoying. And yeah, I think that pretty much sums up everything I wanted to talk about, moments from this week. But it's been a heck of a week, and trying to adjust our new kitty, and then also videos for my, main ThatGirlShaeXo videos. I've been live swatching the lip kit, the big lip boxes. I thought I could have that done in a day. I did not realize the toll that I think it's 88 lip swatches in a row would be on my mouth, and I had to stop filming the video and give my lips a day. So I'm going to continue filming that tomorrow, and I hope to have that up on Monday. I know a lot of you are patiently waiting on that video. This one pushed me to my limits. The doing like 88 lip swatches in a row. I'm more than halfway done with it. I was filming it last night and I thought I could keep going, and then it was just like, it was too much. But anyway, hoping that will be up Monday. And don't forget, of course, I have Cheeky Couch episodes both tomorrow and on Sunday. Saturdays, we are doing a Real Housewives of New Jersey recap rewatch episode here. And Sundays are dedicated to Real Housewives of Orange County. So if you have never been a Housewives watcher, if you feel like there's been too many seasons, you can never catch up, like you have no one to talk to about it with, it just seems kind of pointless, but you were always curious, rewatch it with us. We are having a lot of fun, and I thank you guys for being there for those episodes. So, lastly, thank you guys for watching today. Don't forget, you can listen to my podcast and download it at Apple Podcasts. By the end of the weekend, I will officially have the podcast up on all podcast platforms. It's just it's a lot of work. It really is. I would so appreciate any reviews or downloads that you guys feel comfortable, or if I feel worthy of if you think I'm worthy of receiving those, I would totally appreciate it. Anyways, you guys, I love you. Have a great weekend, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.